Hello everyone. I just want to put this video out there really quickly to let you know about a series of videos I will be doing. Hopefully it won't turn into this 20 thing series thing, but it will be addressing this issue that I keep hearing about, which is the statement that black feminists have abandoned their men and their families. Now, that statement is so loaded and it comes with so few factual details. But to me, it draws a response of, really? That's interesting. So, in order to say that, you must be telling me that things were fine before feminism came along, right? Really? And what these, I don't even want to call them pro-black nationalist men. I just want to call them pro-men, whatever that means, are saying, well, historically, things have not always been that peachy keen. Yes, women, as far as slavery, women worked alongside men. Yes, gender roles and family, well, I'm not even going to say gender roles, I'm going to say family structure was different from the way it was in Africa, and from what we see today, because the sense of kinship was just about people that you knew, people that maybe came from the same tribe as you, family of your spouse and things like that. Things were different. But what is really interesting when you look, once the institution of slavery, what we know as the institution of slavery, was broken down, that things weren't always that sweet. Okay? Things weren't that sweet, and I need people to understand that it's not as sweet as men want it to seem, because, but before feminism, things were fine. These white women got into these black women's heads. They were happy. They were happy. I don't know what these feminists did. They didn't cast some witchcraft on, and they were happy. No, because it couldn't have been one day where women just decided, they woke up, they started listening to white women, and they just, poof, they decided to be feminism. There had to be something deeply rooted in that. There had to be. You cannot just one day wake up and decide that I want things to be different if you didn't feel like that the day before, or the day before that, or the year before that. So don't let the smooth taste fool you, okay? Don't let these men sit up here and tell you that everything pre-feminism, pre-1960s, 1970s was great. Because it wasn't. The institution of slavery is deeply rooted in the current state of the black community. And the way that we even see each other as men and women, our gender roles, that male is the head of the household. Coming from Africa, the systems were different. A lot of villages and things were women-led. So how do you think that we defined the way we act now? How do you think that patriarchy became the way it is in the black community? Where do you think we got that from? Looking at slave owners. Patriarchy has always been the institution in the white community. Where do you think we got that from? We didn't just decide that one day that men would lead households. No. We followed their examples. We saw that men were leading, homes and families, and we saw that. We were like, well, that's the way it must be, and that's how we should be. And that is what black men did after the Emancipation Proclamation, during this wonderful time of Reconstruction, where we had what we now know as social services, and black men could vote and hold offices and things like that, and women couldn't. Women couldn't do that. So as much as we want to talk about, civil rights and things like that, in the South, in every place in the country, black men could always vote. They just made it really, really difficult in the South with, all that Jim Crow. But black men could always vote. Women, we had to fight for that right to vote. And as much as you want to talk about black men and stuff, and, black men, we've always, held it down for our communities and stuff like that. Well, one of the biggest supporters of suffrage for black women and for white women was Frederick Douglass. He was very much for suffrage. He very much was for it. So I don't want people, especially women, to think that men are telling you that, before feminism, things were fine, because it couldn't have just been one day where these women decided that they wanted something different. This had to be deeply rooted, and I will discuss that in future videos. I don't want people to be out here blind. And I don't want you to just listen to me. I don't want you to think that I have all the answers, because I don't. I'm just here to give you a little taste of what they may be living out. And it's not to bash men, it's not. But I don't want women to be following behind them blindly without all the facts. Because what they're spitting is just a lot of generalizations and what historically is. Well, have you read all the history? Because some of it may say that black women weren't necessarily happy with the roles that they were given after Reconstruction. And that will be addressed in my next video. I think the quotes that I read, the things that I read, they really blew my mind. Because I believe what a lot of people, post-Reconstruction, yes, a lot of black people went out and ran to get married. It was huge for them. I mean, there was just this huge influx of black marriage. But was it always good? Were things sweet and wonderful? Was black love super great back then? Maybe. Some of it was. Some of it was, I'm sure. Was it all great? No. And were women rebelling against patriarchy back then? You're damn right. So that's what I will expose, and like black feminism exposed, well, black patriarchy exposed, that's what we'll call it. I really, really love all my viewers, even if you hate what I'm saying. I love that you clicked on my video. I love that you want to hear what I have to say, whether or not you agree with it. I encourage, of course, like I've always said, positive, constructive dialogue. There are some great viewers out here who are not my subscribers, who are down for throwing down some facts, especially like when I can't even remember her name, I will post in the video. She talked about, how white women and anti-lynching legislation, which is still being fought for today, white women definitely supported that. Their reasoning before may have been a little shady. I'm not going to say that they were completely sincere in all of it, but there were a lot of white women on the forefront for anti-lynching legislation, and a lot of it was because lynching was, I'm going off into something totally different, but I will say this, lynching was being done in their name, and they're like, whoa, player, that it's not fair, because that's not always the case. It was, white men asserting their dominance and fear in the black community through lynching men and women and children. Please don't sit up here and make people think that there were not women being lynched, because I did a 25-page paper on it, and there were over 40 women being lynched. Please don't let the Sweet Tape fool you. Okay, there are photographs, there are lynching photographs of women being lynched. Oh, please, don't let her sit up here and act like only men were lynched. No. Men, women, and children. Because they will lynch a whole family. So, I love that. I encourage positive dialogue. If you come on here, make sure you know your facts, because these people will slam you with some hardcore evidence. So I'm excited about this series that's coming up. I hope you guys really like it. I hope I just shine some truth for people who think they know the facts, people who aren't really sure what the facts are. I'm here to tell it to you. I'm here to show it to you. So thank you for watching. Please comment and watch and tell somebody about it. Bye.